Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In in the last tutorial, we checked for a stage setup with VS Code and MySQL connection, right? And check for get and post mapping method, right? So today we'll see for put, patch, and delete mapping. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the put mapping. Okay. Basically, the put method is used to update the resources, and put mapping annotation is used for mapping HTTP put request to the specific method. Okay. So to create put mapping, let's create one method with annotation of put mapping. Okay, put mapping. Your let's say return type will be employee. We'll return the updated employee object. Okay, so let's say update employee. Here we'll give path update hash in curly bracket ID. Okay, so ID will pass through the URL. Okay, so for that there is one more annotation which is path variable integer ID. Another parameter will get employee object from the JSON. Okay, so we'll give request body the employee object. Let's say new. Let's say updated employee. Okay. Okay. So input mapping method, we have given one ID in a curly bracket, and here we have declared as a path variable annotation for integer ID. So path variable annotation is used to extract the value from the URL. Okay, so it will give the value coming from the URL. Okay, so your URL will be like http:// localhost your port number / update. Let's say I'm passing ID employee ID as a 7. So in ID it will be a value will be 7. Okay, so it will extract the value from the given URL. Okay, so okay, let me wrap this inside a response entity. Return type will be response entity. So response entity is represents the HTTP response like status code, header, and body. Okay, we can use it to fully configure the HTTP response. Okay. Let me throw an exception if there is no record for employee given for given ID. Let's find if employees exist or not by using employee report dot find by ID method. Find by ID and pass the ID which is coming from the URL. Okay, dot get. Here check for employees null or if employee equal to null, then throw an exception. Employee not. Okay. Now outside the if condition, if employee is present, then if employee is present, then set values to update. Like here, I'm updating the name for the given employee. Okay. So employee dot set name, get name from this updated employee object, which is coming from as a request body. Okay. And then using employee repo dot save method, save the employee object, new employee object. So save method will update the employee data if table is exist, or if table is not exist. Sorry, if record is not exist, then it will create a new record. Then return. Let me create one more employee. And return this updated employee. Wait, we need to return as a response entity dot okay, and here body will be updated employee. Okay, let's run this. Let's run this. Okay. Okay. Currently, I have record these records. Let me update one from this. Okay, let's update for 352 ID. So in URL, here we need to pass 352 ID. Okay. And your name, same. Our record is updated and new name is Jerry. If you call get request, then you can say record is updated. Name is Jerry. ID 352. And if you give ID that employee is not found, then it will throw an exception. Okay, now let's check for delete mapping. So let me copy this. Okay, so here I am changing URL path to delete and ID as it is. Remove the request body and the method name change to delete. Okay, and our mapping will be delete mapping. So delete mapping is used to delete the resources. Okay. Okay. If employee is not found, then it will throw an exception. Else, just call the employee repository dot delete by ID and the ID. And here the response entity, let's change to string and give message as employee record deleted successful. Okay. Now restart. Let's restart and check. Now here our method will be delete and URL is the delete and give ID. Let's say 402 same. You can see employee record deleted successfully. You check in a get call, 402 is gone. Mapping. So patch mapping is used for partially update the resources. Okay, the patch HTTP method is used to update the resource partially, and the patch mapping is used for mapping the request into specific handler method. Okay, so when to use patch and when to use put. Suppose if there is any requirement to replace an existing resource entirely, then we can use the put mapping. Otherwise, if there is only partially update, like only address need to change, only name need to change, then we can use HTTP patch. Okay, so let's see how to implement this. Let me copy the above mapping, put mapping. Here, mapping. Everything will be same as we are done in the mapping. Okay. So patch, currently we have only name in the entity, right? So we are updating name only here. Let's restart. So let's check for patch, same. Yeah, here our URL will be patch ID 352. Record is updated. So this is the use of patch mapping. If we want to update only partially record, like only name, only address, then we can go with patch mapping. Or if there is a required for update entirely entity, then you can use put mapping. Okay guys, so that's it for today's tutorial. So we have checked get mapping, put mapping, delete mapping, update, and post, right? Post, get, put, delete, add. One more thing I want to share with you. Here, instead of get mapping, we can use request mapping, and inside request mapping, we can give a method like this: request method dot get. Okay, so basically, the get mapping is a shortcut of this line request mapping, and inside request mapping bracket method equal to request method dot get. So it is a shortcut. So you can use either request mapping or get mapping. Okay. Okay guys. So in next tutorial we'll check how to handle error. There will be HTTP status code 200 okay, then 404 for the record not found. So we'll check this in next tutorial. Okay. Meanwhile, you can practice on this. Okay. Happy coding. Thank you. Bye bye.